Thank you, Andre. It's always a pleasure to visit your club, and it's an honor to be up here in front of you today. I hope that all of you heard that John Osterlund is not going to be with us today, so I've expanded the introduction I was going to give for him a little bit, and then Don Lewis and I kind of agreed that I would talk a little bit about some other things, not for very long though. So this is what I was going to say to introduce John, and I want to read it to you so that you know what we're missing and what he has done for us. Having John Osterlund visit this club in this district is very special. The keyway included his history, including his Rotary history. He started out as an ambassadorial scholar with Rotary years ago, and his current position is General Manager and Chief Development Officer. This is for the entire world. So I believe in the scheme of things, I wasn't able to verify this, that he's number 2 under John Hugo for paid staff in Evanston. I want to share with you what John has done for this club and for our district. With the assistance of Grant Wilkins, in 1985, 86, 87, Temple Hoyne Buell endowed a scholarship for architectural students to study overseas. And this started out as a $150,000 donation. It has funded at this point 14 scholars under the old system before the Future Vision new global grant thing came together. When that started, was going to start in 2013, the Temple Buell Scholarship did not fit as a global grant. So John worked very hard on helping us, work with Susan Steele. And Susan, please stand. Susan's here. She's the Executive Secretary of the Buell Foundation. And John and Susan worked very hard to save this scholarship in some manner. At this point, as I said, there have been 14 scholars who had gone somewhere to study around the world. So because of that new structure, we had to reestablish a whole new way of doing the grants and funding the grants. John worked with your club, as I said, first, and then with Susan, and then with the whole district for us to be able to save this. And I do mean save it, because otherwise we could have lost that funding that had gone into the endowment. We right now have our 15th scholar going to Thailand. He was here a few months ago, Trevor Clifford. Hopefully some of you met him. And he's a wonderful young man. He will be our 15th, or is our 15th scholar under the new system. And what started out as a $150,000 endowment in 1987 was when it was fully funded. It has sent 15 people around the world to study. And the corpus of that money right now is amazing. Listen to this very carefully. From $150,000, it is now $499,228. And I think it's real amazing proof of what Rotary does with investing money that is given for scholarships or for anything else that we do with them. I just am amazed to get that number. The continuation of this amazing gift is because of the commitment of several people. And on top of this list to me are Susan Steele and John Osterlund, and I'm sorry John isn't here today to hear me say this, because we all worked hard on this project. So that was going to be my introduction of John, and then Don has asked me to say a few other things. First of all, on the Temple Buell Scholarship, Phil Gettert from your club is the chair. Carl Berg has been involved with this committee for a long time and still serves on the committee. We will be interviewing 5 candidates this Saturday to hopefully choose one to be our next Temple Buell Scholar starting in the Rotary year 2016. So that's, I think, very exciting to continue this to go on, and your club should be very proud that you started this and have been so involved over the years. I also want to mention that we do have 2 ambassadorial scholarships that the district funds. And we do those as global grants so that we put in half the money and Rotary Foundation puts in the other half of the money for those. When Future Vision started in 2013, Rotary International did away with the ambassadorial scholarships. They've meant a lot to this district over the years, and we wanted to continue them. So we call them district ambassadorial scholarships, and we'll be interviewing for those on December 5th. We have 2 that we fund every year. We actually have 3 this year because one of the candidates did not work out with her subjects and what she wanted to study. So we may or may not choose all 3 or fill all 3, but it's exciting that we have that opportunity. And the one other thing I want to mention is, again, the President's Dinner was already mentioned for January 9th. Somebody said to me, you know, those dinners are only for like officers and presidents and people involved with the district. And that isn't true at all. Each of you should have that opportunity and should attend to meet our president of the Rotary International in the world. And it's a wonderful time to be able to go do that. And so I hope you'll really participate. This year, the profits will go to polio, where they will be tripled by the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation. We are also asking anybody who is going to sign up for the dinner to give some extra money for polio if you're willing to do that. And you can do that even if you're not going to the dinner. You can always donate to polio. And the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation will also have somebody speaking at that dinner February 9th. So I think that's going to be thrilling to be able to have a representative from them to share with us. So the foundation is for Rotary International is a large group of different topics, different subjects, different chairs, different things. You know, we do most of the fundraising, but we also do most of the fund spending. So hopefully you will learn more about it, and I'm always happy to talk with anybody or share any of your ideas. So thank you so much for letting me have these few minutes, and Don is going to continue.
John expresses his regret for not being able to be here today. He asked for a rain check and is looking forward to visiting our club in the future and filling us in more. He did supply his slides today, and to me they were very enlightening and sort of integrates everything into one package. Here we see the 2014-15 contributions. At the top line is the annual fund, and the goal for the entire foundation this year was $123 million. That's $123 million. The annual fund is the backbone of the Rotary Foundation. It funds the district grants, which come back to us, and it also funds global grants and some Polio Plus projects. So it's a vital part of the Rotary Foundation. We also raised $29 million for Polio Plus, and $20 million went into the endowment fund, which ensures the ongoing funding of programs for the Rotary International and our club. That results in total contributions of $199 million, plus a $70 million match from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That's a record-setting year for us. I think we deserve a little applause there. This represents the first year that the foundation has reached its goal of $100 per capita for every Rotarian internationally. It's a great accomplishment. On this slide, I'd like for you to focus on the upper right-hand corner, the little yellow dot. and it shows our goal for 2015-16 of $130 million. So we are continually advancing the annual fund as we go through this. Now let me put a little bit of a face on that, a local face on that. Here we are, 2014 and 15, we raised a total of $97,000. $57,408 went to our annual fund, and we had an annual fund goal of $50,000, so we exceeded our goal. This year our goal is a modest increase of $52,530. So we are hopeful that we can continue to progress here. John points out his consciousness of our contribution in the global projects here. So he identified Bosnia, Zimbabwe, and Burkina Faso as vital projects, which is recognized in Chicago, recognized at our club, recognized in our district by everyone involved. John wanted to be sure that we were aware of Polio Plus. As of July 24th, Nigeria is polio-free for 1 year. 11 August, Africa is polio-free for 1 year. And 30 years, over $1.5 billion raised for polio. With the addition of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the contributions are tripled, and you can see the effect of $25, $100, and $1,000. It's wonderful. But once again, let me put a bit of a face on this. Recently in Chicago, Doctors Blair Gifford, our very own Blair Gifford, and his father, Ted Gifford, were recognized at a ceremony in Chicago. Ted Gifford donated $780,000 to Polio Plus. Blair Gifford is with us today. Blair, would you come up? Thank you, Blair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Don. About this time last year, my father and my mother met with me. My dad's 97, my mom's 92. And my dad's been very involved with Rotary. He was an international director at the same time Grant Wilkins was. He was district governor, club president. Rotary's always been in his heart. And he sat down, he said, I'd like to give a major donation to Rotary. And we talked about Alzheimer's, and we talked about polio. As some of you know, I'm a professor of global health at the University of Colorado. And he decided he wanted to try to eradicate polio in his lifetime. And I thought that was a pretty noble goal. And so we sat down, and he decided to do that, and here we are today making this major contribution. So on behalf of my father and the Gifford family, I'd just like to say thank you.
That's just wonderful. Warms your heart, huh? Well, let me go on to something that's relatively new in Rotary that we should know about. Rotary has a global rewards program. And basically, there are over 600 offers to Rotary members now for discounts and other benefits as a result of being a Rotary member. If you register as a Rotarian on the international website under myrotary.org, you can then access all of these awards. For example, Hertz has a 15% discount on rental cars, and a little bit of money will come back to the Rotary Foundation if you use Hertz. Over 600 kinds of offers like that once you begin to investigate it. Amazon, for example, has a program where if you punch the right button, Rotary Foundation will benefit. So it's a great benefit. It's not widely known. I've been in it and have taken advantage of it, and would recommend that you do that as well. You know, it's hard to believe that the Rotary Foundation is 98 years old. The Rotary Foundation has been out there doing good for 98 years. And so, as you might well imagine, we're headed towards a centennial celebration in Atlanta during the 2017 Rotary International Convention. We will build up to that as time goes on, but it's an exciting opportunity for us all to plan to attend Atlanta for the Rotary International Convention and celebrate the Rotary Foundation at that time. So that's the Rotary Foundation. The one thing I wanted to mention as well is our dollars are used very efficiently and multiplied, as we've heard from the World Community Service Committee, over and over again. Our foundation has about 90 to 92% of its dollars go into programs. It has a fantastic efficiency there, and it's been recognized by several different charity rating agencies as well, like Charity Navigator with a 4-star rating. So, as I mentioned earlier, the floor sweep has been up here, sweeping up for the Rotary Foundation. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to your support of the foundation.
Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Don. It's wonderful. You know, ISIS is trying to change the world through hatred. Rotary is trying to change it through love. And this is the work that we see. So it's wonderful. And Brett and Lucas, if the two of you wants to start walking towards the door so you can greet Rotary, so they can greet you on the way out. Anybody here reads that newspaper of huge gravitas called The Onion? Yes. So The Onion this week had a color picture of Peyton Manning coming to the field with a service dog, so it could help him see the open player. So Pelham does have a future as a quarter dog. Now, no meeting next week because of Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is a national holiday of football and beer and family and fun and saying thanks for all the great things in the world. And I want to inform you that at Denver Rotary, we're starting a revolution. And we're going to change the four-way test. So if you could all please rise and join me in the pledge of the four-way test that is behind me on the screen that was sent to us by Rich Harris. Let's read it together. I can't read it, so you read it. Happy Thanksgiving. Meeting adjourned.